Imagine this: a vast barren world, its surface scarred by ancient riverbeds, its sky painted in a perpetual dust haze. The cold is relentless, the radiation deadly, and the atmosphere so thin that no unprotected life could ever hope to survive. This is Mars as we know it. But what if Mars has been hiding something beneath its rust-colored exterior, something that defies all expectations? Could extraterrestrial life still exist, not on the surface, but buried deep within the planet itself? And if so, could it be more than just simple microbes? For decades, our robotic explorers have roamed the Martian deserts, searching for evidence of life. We found proof that water once flowed across its surface, that vast lakes and oceans may have existed billions of years ago. But despite all our efforts, there has been no definitive sign of life. No fossils, no biological traces, no direct evidence of organisms clinging to existence on the surface. This raises a critical question. What if we've been looking in the wrong place all along? Mars was not always the cold, arid wasteland we see today. Scientists believe that billions of years ago it had a thick atmosphere, flowing water, and possibly conditions suitable for life. It may have looked more like early Earth, a world teeming with potential where primitive life could have taken hold. But something catastrophic happened. The planet lost its magnetic field, and without that protective shield, the solar wind stripped away much of its atmosphere. The pressure dropped, water evaporated or froze, and radiation levels soared. Any surface-dwelling life forms would have faced a dire fate. The only hope for survival? Retreating underground. Here on Earth, life has proven its remarkable ability to survive in the most extreme conditions, in the deepest parts of the ocean, where sunlight never reaches, inside acidic caves where toxic gases fill the air, even miles beneath Antarctica's frozen surface, where lakes of liquid water remain sealed off from the world above. Life in some form always finds a way. And if it can do so here, why not on Mars? Scientists have already identified potential underground habitats on the Red Planet. NASA's InSight lander, which has been studying Mars' interior since 2018, has detected mysterious seismic activity, Marsquakes that hint at subterranean movement. Some researchers believe these quakes could indicate the presence of underground reservoirs of liquid water or geological activity that could sustain microbial life. More intriguing still are the lava tubes, enormous cave systems carved by ancient volcanic activity. These tunnels could provide a natural refuge, shielding anything living inside from the lethal radiation that bombards the surface. But here's where it gets even more intriguing. Over the years, orbiters have detected strange surface anomalies, openings that appear to be entrances to massive underground caverns. These so-called skylights have been found in multiple locations, particularly in regions of past volcanic activity, like the Tharsis Plateau, home to Olympus Mons, the largest volcano in the solar system. Some of these openings descend deep into the Martian crust, their depths unknown. Could they be hiding something more than just rock and ice? If microbial life exists on Mars, it would likely be found in these underground pockets, where water may still flow in some form. But what if Mars once hosted something more advanced, primitive multicellular organisms, or even something we'd recognize as an intelligent civilization? If an alien species had ever settled on Mars in the distant past, they would have faced the same challenges as life on the surface. Radiation exposure, atmospheric loss, temperature extremes, all of these would have made survival above ground nearly impossible. But underground, conditions would have been far more stable. The idea of an underground civilization may seem like science fiction, but it's not without precedent. On Earth, humanity has sought shelter below the surface for millennia, whether in natural caves, underground cities, or modern-day bunkers. If intelligent extraterrestrials ever visited Mars or evolved there millions of years ago, wouldn't it make sense for them to seek shelter below the surface? What if Mars's caves and tunnels are more than just empty spaces? What if they are, or once were, home to something we've never even imagined? As we continue to explore Mars with increasingly sophisticated technology, we may be on the verge of uncovering the truth. Upcoming missions are designed to probe beneath the surface, drilling into the Martian crust in search of hidden water, biosignatures, and perhaps even the remnants of ancient life. But what exactly are we looking for? What evidence already exists to support the idea that Mars' underground is more than just rock and ice? And if something is still alive down there, what might it be? If life does exist beneath the Martian surface, what kind of evidence should we be looking for? And more importantly, have we already found clues without realizing it? One of the most compelling hints comes from methane, a gas that, on Earth, is primarily produced by biological activity. Methane is unstable in Mars' thin atmosphere, meaning that any detected methane must have been released relatively recently. NASA's Curiosity rover has repeatedly detected methane spikes in the Martian air, an anomaly that has puzzled scientists for years. Could this methane be coming from geological processes like serpentinization, where water reacts with rock deep underground? Or is there another possibility, one that suggests biological activity? Here's where things get even stranger. The methane levels fluctuate with the seasons, increasing during the Martian summer and decreasing in winter. This seasonal pattern mirrors what we see on Earth, where biological organisms become more active in warmer months. If underground microbes are producing methane, they could be living in subsurface water pockets, shielded from the deadly radiation above. But what if we're not just talking about microbes? Let's consider Mars's volcanic history. Unlike Earth, which has active plate tectonics that constantly reshape the landscape, Mars's surface is largely unchanged for millions, if not billions, of years. This means that ancient lava tubes, massive hollowed-out tunnels created by flowing magma, have remained intact over time. These tubes, some large enough to house entire cities, could serve as natural shelters. On Earth, scientists have explored similar lava tubes in Hawaii and Iceland, finding that they can maintain stable temperatures and even host microbial life. If an intelligent species ever inhabited Mars, these underground tunnels would be an ideal refuge. But there's more. Some of the most intriguing evidence comes from recent discoveries of liquid water beneath the Martian surface. In 2018, the European Space Agency's Mars Express orbiter detected a massive subsurface lake beneath the planet's south polar ice cap. The lake, buried over a mile deep, spans an estimated 12 miles across. And it's not alone. Subsequent studies have revealed multiple underground water bodies, raising the possibility that liquid water, a key ingredient for life, still exists on Mars today. Scientists believe these reservoirs could be salty, which would prevent them from freezing solid in Mars' frigid temperatures. If microbes exist in these subsurface lakes, they might resemble the extremophiles found beneath Antarctica's ice sheets, where bacteria have survived in isolated pockets of water for millions of years. But what if something more complex lurks in these underground reservoirs? Could Mars's history of habitability mean that life had enough time to evolve beyond microbes? Consider this. If Mars was once Earth-like billions of years ago, life could have taken hold and then adapted to the planet's changing conditions. On Earth, life has repeatedly demonstrated its resilience. Some fish and amphibians burrow into mud and hibernate for years in extreme conditions. Certain bacteria can remain dormant for thousands of years before being revived. Even tardigrades, tiny, almost indestructible creatures, can survive in the vacuum of space. If evolution on Mars followed a similar path, could we find evidence of complex organisms preserved underground, waiting to be discovered? NASA's upcoming Mars sample return mission and the European Space Agency's ExoMars rover are set to dig deeper than any previous mission, searching for biosignatures and organic molecules. But there's another more controversial theory that signs of past or even present civilizations might still exist beneath the surface. Some researchers argue that if intelligent extraterrestrials ever visited or lived on Mars, the evidence wouldn't be on the surface, where time and harsh conditions would have erased it. Instead, it would be underground, where structures, artifacts, or even technological remnants could remain preserved. We've already seen strange geological formations on Mars that resemble buried structures, though mainstream scientists attribute these to natural processes. However, If a civilization did exist on Mars in the distant past, would we even recognize its remains? As our exploration of Mars intensifies, one thing is certain. The underground holds secrets that have remained hidden for millions, perhaps billions, of years. And with every new discovery, the possibility of finding life, past or present, becomes more real. But what happens if we do find something? What if the first signs of extraterrestrial life or even an ancient civilization are waiting just beneath the Martian soil? In the final section, we'll explore the implications of such a discovery, the challenges we face in proving it, and what it could mean for our place in the cosmos. Imagine the moment, humanity's greatest discovery, hidden beneath the Martian surface finally brought to light. A robotic drill breaches a subterranean cavern, its cameras revealing something beyond our wildest dreams. Maybe it's a fossilized microorganism, a preserved remnant of ancient life, or perhaps it's something more shocking, ruins of a forgotten civilization, evidence that Mars was once home to an intelligent species. How would the world react? And what would it mean for our understanding of life in the universe? The implications of finding life, past or present on Mars, would be profound. If microbial organisms still exist underground, it would prove that life is not unique to Earth. And if it arose independently on Mars, it would suggest that life is likely common throughout the cosmos. This would transform our understanding of biology, evolution, and planetary habitability. Scientists would scramble to study these Martian microbes, searching for genetic similarities or differences compared to Earth's life forms. If they share common traits, it could mean that life once spread between planets, perhaps through meteorite impacts, a concept known as panspermia. But if they are entirely different, it would mean life arose twice in our own solar system, making it nearly certain that the universe is teeming with living worlds. But what if we find something more than microbes? What if deep within Mars' underground tunnels, we discover traces of an ancient civilization? This would raise questions far more complex. Were they native to Mars? Or were they visitors? Extraterrestrials from another star system who established an outpost there eons ago? If Mars was once habitable, it's possible that intelligent life could have evolved alongside primitive organisms, only to face extinction when the planet's environment collapsed. Perhaps they retreated deeper underground as the surface became uninhabitable, surviving for thousands or even millions of years before their civilization eventually faded. If artificial structures are found, remnants of technology, machines, or even written records, what would they reveal? Would they tell the story of a Martian society that thrived long ago, leaving behind cryptic messages in stone and metal? Would we find signs of advanced engineering, underground cities built to withstand the planet's harsh conditions? And, if so, could some remnants of that civilization still be alive today? Of course, skeptics argue that such a discovery is unlikely. If an advanced species once existed on Mars, where is the undeniable proof? Shouldn't we have found more obvious signs by now? But consider this. On Earth, entire human civilizations have vanished beneath sand, jungle, and ice in just a few thousand years. Cities lost to time, waiting to be rediscovered. Now imagine Mars, where dust storms rage for centuries, and geological shifts can bury entire landscapes. If something was hidden deep below the surface, we wouldn't know unless we actively searched for it. But there's another possibility, one that raises even bigger questions. What if intelligent extraterrestrials are still living underground, on Mars? If they exist, they may not resemble anything we expect. Their biology could be entirely alien, adapted to a lightless, high-radiation world beneath the surface. Perhaps they rely on geothermal energy, or tap into underground water reserves for survival. Their technology might be so advanced that we wouldn't even recognize it at first glance. And if they are there, would they welcome contact? Or have they deliberately remained hidden? This is where things take an unsettling turn. Some believe that the reason we haven't found undeniable proof of extraterrestrials is because they don't want to be found. If a hidden species exists on Mars, would they see us as explorers or intruders? And if they possess superior intelligence, could they have already detected our robotic landers and orbiters, watching from the shadows as we inch closer to their domain. With upcoming missions set to dig deeper than ever before, we may soon have answers. The ExoMars rover, equipped with a powerful drill, will search for biosignatures beneath the surface. NASA's Mars Sample Return mission could bring back physical evidence of Martian microbes. And in the distant future, human explorers may set foot on Mars, venturing into its vast underground networks to uncover secrets hidden for eons. One way or another, we are on the verge of a breakthrough. Whether it's microbial life, traces of an ancient civilization, or something entirely unexpected, Mars underground holds answers to questions that have haunted humanity for centuries. Are we alone? Or has life, perhaps even intelligence, existed right next door, buried beneath the red planet's surface? Now, we turn to you. If we were to discover extraterrestrial life on Mars, how do you think it would change our world? Would governments share the truth, or would they suppress it? Could the discovery of an ancient Martian civilization rewrite our history books? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the greatest cosmic mysteries, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Cosmic Whispers for more mind-expanding explorations of the universe. Until next time, keep looking to the stars.